trucking and money, and you being owner-operator, chasing that money. I think this is a very important topic. I think money eventually is why every single one of you became owner-operator or looking to become an owner-operator. I think money is the end result that you kind of shooting for. And if you ask me, money buys freedom and opportunities. And more money, more freedom, more opportunities. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about something very, very important. We all have this one guy, at least one guy, some of us have more than one guy, that isn't trucking as an owner-operator but makes no money. And I'm gonna make a series of videos about financial education. And man, I know the theoretical part of that, of what I'm gonna be talking about, but when I put those things on the paper and the real numbers, it even pops my eyes, man. Even though my eyes are actually pretty big, so, you know, I have to keep those glasses on so they don't pop out when I look at numbers like this. All right, so let's talk about fuel economy. So I did some calculations here. I pulled up the fuel economy for the areas that we run. And this is last week's numbers. For the last week, for the areas that we do run, it comes down to $4.33 per gallon. That's a pump price. Our guys pay quite a bit less than that because we give back all the discounts for fuel on our fuel accounts back to the owner-operators because we are the ones who need it most. All right, so $4.33 per gallon. That's before discounts because I'm trying to make this video available for everybody. Not everybody is gonna give you discounts, so I'm not including discounts in this calculation, but our guys will have a better end of the stick. And you, the rest of the viewers, I would say, depends on the company that you work for. But if you're looking for a better company, you know where to find us. All right, so $4.33 per gallon of diesel. So now let's talk about fuel economy. If your fuel economy, and before you tell me like, get the hell out of here, nobody runs the fuel economy like this, let me tell you a secret. Some people do. And sometimes I come across people like that and it blows my mind away. Because I do not understand, how can you be an owner-operator and not know what's your fuel economy? But I see people like that every day, unfortunately, because most likely we're not gonna be watching this video, but if any of these guys will, and if we're gonna watch that video to the end, we're never gonna look at the trucking the same. By the way, like, share, subscribe. All right, so if your fuel economy is 4.5 miles per gallon, unbelievably bad fuel economy, but a lot of those long-nose Pete's and Kenworths and C15s are gonna get that fuel economy right there if you're pushing 75 miles per hour. That's what's gonna happen. So at that point, it is costing you 96 cents per mile to run your truck. All right, at 5.5 miles per gallon, it's costing you 79 cents per mile. That's, again, off last week's numbers. At 6.5 miles per gallon, it's costing you 67 cents per mile. At 7.5 miles per gallon, it's costing you 58 cents per mile. And at 8.5 miles per gallon, it's costing you 51 cents per mile. Now let's talk about the settlements, because this is the most important part. The settlement is how much money eventually, after all the crap is being paid for, how much money your truck takes home, all right? So I'm gonna use imaginary loads with imaginary numbers. The only thing that's gonna be accurate here is going to be the mathematical calculation and the cost of diesel. The loads and the numbers, the initial numbers which we're gonna go off are gonna be made up. So let's just say we have two drivers. One driver and the other driver, we pick up a first load of the week at the same place, and then we just run mirroring each other We go to the same places, drop the load, go to pick up another load, another, and then we come back here on Saturday, right? So Monday through Saturday, 3,000 miles. We both had 3,000 miles exactly, no less, no more, 3,000 miles that week, okay? All right, now, one guy, let's just say the guy in the red truck is running at 5 miles a gallon because he just doesn't care. He thinks that the faster he goes and less shits he gives, the better his life is going to be. He's not interested in fuel economy talks. He's not interested in improving fuel economy. The hell, he doesn't even know what fuel economy is. And the only reason that red truck runs at 5 miles per gallon is because he is lucky. If he could push it down to 4.5, he would. And believe it or not, I was talking to one owner operator a few years back who was somehow very defeated individual and was very excited about just getting the worst fuel economy that it's possible to get. Go figure. So, and another guy, the guy in yellow truck, let's say, he's aware, he's doing the research, he knows his equipment, he understands how his truck is functioning, he knows how fast or slow he needs to drive to be able to get 8 miles per gallon. To some dinosaurs like me, it sounds a little like pretty high, like too good to be true fuel economy. But as I'm talking to other people who drive those more modern trucks these days, people do get 8.5 miles per gallon. That does happen. So I guess it's a reality. So now those two drivers had the same load. So we made the same, let's just say $4,500 net. $4,500 net to the truck after company's percentage, after all the fees, if there is any, after trailer maintenance, and the whole 9 yards. So 45, now we need to, the only thing that's left to subtract from that number is fuel. So the guy in the red truck, the guy that doesn't give an F about no fuel economy, at 5 miles per gallon, he did spend $2,610 to complete the 3,000 mile run. So at 5 miles per gallon, the guy spent in the red truck $2,610 to run that round trip. The guy in the yellow truck, the one that's paying attention, the one that knows what fuel economy is and what he needs to do to get that number up high, the one that runs 8 miles per gallon, he had to spend $1,620 to complete his round trip. Same exactly trip, making same exactly amount of revenue to the truck. So both guys are sitting pretty at $4,500, and now we just need to take the fuel out of that. So after we deduct those numbers, the red truck takes home $1,890. That's the guy that doesn't pay attention. And the yellow truck takes home $2,880. He knows what time it is. The difference, the amount of work we had to do is the same. The mileage that we had to drive is the same. The amount of money that we grossed is the same. Just by paying attention to fuel economy, knowing what it takes, maybe driving a little slower, the guy in the yellow truck took home, I would say $1,000, but I'm sure somebody gonna check that and then talk crap about me. The guy who paid attention, who was very serious about his fuel economy and willing to maybe drive slower, do whatever it takes to not waste money on fuel, he took home $990 more than the guy with a crappy fuel economy. $990. That's $1,000 difference. So two guys, same company, same loads, same weight, same everything, same mileage. $1,000, like 30-something% difference in how much money this guy made versus how much money this guy made. When you put those numbers into perspective, I don't know about you, but when I look at it, it's like, wow, man, like I know that driving aggressively and wasting money on fuel is not a good thing. I know that you're gonna make less, but it takes actually putting the hard numbers on the paper to kind of really, for that to sink in and to be like, holy crap, that's like $50,000 a year. Man, that's no joking matter. So something like this, you have to pay attention to. So how can you improve fuel economy? Don't be defeatist, because if you have a truck that has a crappy fuel economy, no matter what you do, it still continues just burning all the fuel in the world, you need a different truck, because you will never be able to beat the industry, the market with that fuel economy and those fuel prices. So let's talk about a couple of basic things, 5 things that you need to know to improve your fuel economy. Number 1, slow down. I've told this story a million times, but some of you probably see me for the first time. I had one of the last trucks that I had was a Peterbilt with C15 motor. I was driving coast to coast. I had to drive 63 miles an hour just not to burn all my money through that pipe, period. And yes, that truck was not governed, it was fast, but I had a decision to make, because if I was gonna go anything over that, my fuel economy would start decreasing rapidly to the point where I would be the guy making no money. So I did whatever it took it nice and slow, just to compensate for a bad fuel economy. So slowing down, use cruise control. I know a lot of guys with the cruise control breaks or some sensor goes down and we don't want to spend money to fix that. You have no idea how much you're wasting in fuel. That fuel cruise control issue, man, just fix it and forget it. It's gonna pay for itself. Don't worry about it. Plus, it's not like it breaks all the time. That's that's not the most common breakdown that people have, because if you're driving just the foot, you're gonna be slowing down and speeding up, slowing down and speeding up, slowing down and speeding up. And that's not the way to get the best fuel economy. All right, let's carry on. Find RPM sweet spot. For that, you really need to know your equipment and feel it. You need to test different speeds. You need to pay attention to fuel economy. You need to pay attention to many things to be able to figure out what's best for your engine. And no, the dealer can give you generic info of what manufacturer is suggesting, but you need to do you, because there is no 2 trucks that's gonna run exactly the same at all times. You need to get to know your equipment, and that's that. Tire pressure. How many owner-operators do we have on our fleet that don't have no tire pressure gauge? Probably at least half. At least half. Crazy world. Who could have thought? At least half. Now, trailers. All of our trailers, we do have tire inflation system. So that shouldn't be a problem. But what if it doesn't work? What if you're dragging now one of these trailers with deflated tires? The closer to the tail the deflated tires go, the worse fuel economy is going to get. So you need to pay attention to your truck's tire pressure and the trailer tire pressure, because 30% in fuel economy loss is a real thing just on tire pressure. Reduce idle time. Easier said than done, but absolutely, whenever possible, you should avoid idling. I used to avoid idling at all costs and tried many different things. Had Webasto for winter for most of my trucks, so that helped a lot. And then, there are other options, like APUs are expensive, but at the end of the day, when you look at these numbers, what is expensive? Because if you can save yourself $1,000 in fuel a month, or let's just say not a month, because you're not going to burn that much idling, but let's just say if you're going to save $500 a month just because you're not idling, it's not gonna take forever to get that APU and just, get it and forget it. And here we go. Plus, again, there are more economical options such as Labasta, really, really good one. Had it like years back, and I'm not sure where technology is on that aspect right now, but it's probably just got better, not worse for sure. And for AC, there are also other options that you can do. So just do your research and try to save every gallon, because that counts. And the last one, very quick fix. I see a lot of drivers having a dirty air filter. You can't imagine that for the most part, if your air filter is dirty, you changing it right now will pay for itself with a single fill of tanks. So don't be driving around with dirty air filter and save yourself a lot of money. All right, guys, so hope that helps. Pay attention, get to know your equipment. If you're looking for a really good company to partner up with, to advance your business, to take it to the next level, to make more money, and if you are based out of Florida, give us a call, 863-342-5171. Talk to Christian, and or stop by and come on over. We'll show you the numbers. We'll let you talk to our operations guys, who's going to be able to tell you what can we put on your truck, built around not just some sort of made up thing. No, based around your specific scenario. So if you're ever around Lakeland and just want to say hi or looking for a better company, stop by, call us, let's talk, let's make something great. And we are here to help owner-operators. If you are not owner-operator yet and looking for lease purchase programs, I usually always speak out very loud against company lease purchase programs, trucking company programs, because then you're stuck there and it's a major conflict of interest. But if you're looking for a good company to lease purchase a truck from and still maintain your freedom, give Christian a call, 863-342-5171. We got some really good contacts at Lone Mountain, and we can help you to get into that truck painlessly. I guess that's the word. All right, guys, be safe, drive safe, save that fuel, because as you can see, it's not a joke. 1 week, $1,000 difference on the same amount of work. All right, guys, take care. Bye.